Bodhgaya is the main focal point for Buddhists all around the world. It is the premier, the most important, the most sacred, and the most vital pilgrimage spot for all Buddhists around the world. And all Buddhists should go to Bodhgaya to pay homage, collect merit, plant seeds, make prayers, and experience the very spot where the perfect awakened sage, Shakyamuni, attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The whole area is protected by the Indian government. It is in North India in a state called Bihar, and that is one night's train ride from New Delhi, which is the capital of India. So from one night from New Delhi, you can reach Bodhgaya, and they have planes that go directly to Bodhgaya, to a small town that's 1 hour away called Gaya. So Gaya is 1 hour away, and we can take planes there now, so it's easier if you find it too taxing to go on the train overnight. People have hired taxis to go from Delhi to Bodhgaya, but that's not very recommended because at night the roads are very deserted, very lonely. Anyways, Buddha himself recommended 4 places for us to visit. The place he was born, the place he attained enlightenment, the place where he turned the wheel of Dharma, and the place where he passed into parinirvana, where he passed away. So these are the four places that Lord Buddha Shakyamuni himself advised those who are his students to visit, because they will be the places where future Buddhas will come to take rebirth, teach, attain enlightenment, first teach, and then enter parinirvana. They'll be the exact same places. So therefore, Bodhgaya is a very important place for us to visit. Once you get to Bodhgaya, you have the Mahabodhi stupa, built by the great Indian Emperor Ashoka. Ashoka was about 1,000 years ago, and he was one of the greatest emperors of India. He was a Buddhist, and he built that Mahabodhi temple, or the Mahabodhi stupa, to commemorate the spot where Buddha became enlightened. So there's a tree there, which is an offspring, an offshoot of the actual tree where Buddha became enlightened 2,500 years ago, 2,600 years ago. And right next to the tree, just inches away, is the Mahabodhi stupa. Mahabodhi, great compassion stupa, great love stupa. And that stupa marks where Buddha became enlightened, and it's protected by the Indian national government at this time. And inside the Mahabodhi stupa, you have a very beautiful image of Lord Buddha, which is really one of the most beautiful in the world. that image of the Buddha was made 60 years after the passing of Lord Buddha himself by a student of his, one lady. One lady had known, seen, and received teachings from Lord Buddha directly. And after he had passed away, she commissioned her sons to have the statue made and carved in his likeness. So she actually directed the sons and said, well, the Buddha's nose looked like that, his shape was like that, he's this tall, his fingers look like this, his arms look like this. So she actually had that image commissioned to his very close likeness. So therefore that image of Buddha is said to be very close to what he actually looked like. And that image is inside. So that's very, very holy to see. And when we're there, what we should do is, outdoor we can buy incense, we can buy fruits, and from the cloth sellers nearby we can buy robes. And the robes are cut into 3 pieces, 4 feet, 3 feet, and 3 feet. And you can buy the cloth of different colors, different shades of yellow, gold, orange, and different qualities depending on your budget. And you can take the fruits and the robes and make good prayers, offer to the image of the Buddha statue. To offer robes to the Buddha, very meritorious. So what happens is, when we arrive in Bodhgaya, we should think, this is the place where Lord Buddha became enlightened. This is the place where Buddha became attained. This is the place where Buddha reached his final journey. And from that very spot under the tree where he became enlightened, it changed all our lives. We're all here, we're all talking, we're all doing things because Buddha sat under that tree and became enlightened, fully enlightened. So to go to this tree, to go to this area where it's marked where Buddha became enlightened, there's a seat there. There's a seat there marked where Buddha became enlightened. To put our forehead there and to invoke some prayers. One would plant the seeds to achieve enlightenment oneself. One would purify a tremendous amount of karma to be able to go there, to witness this, to see this, to make prayers. And then one should make a lot of circumambulations. I've compiled a pilgrimage book. I've compiled a small little booklet for those going on pilgrimage and the prayers they could recite at the different places. So for my friends and students who are going there, when you are at Bodhgaya, I recommend you to recite the preliminary prayers, which is in this booklet, the preliminary prayers, and also after that, the meditation on Shakyamuni. I've compiled a meditation on Shakyamuni and the recitation of his mantra and praise. You should do that there. And afterwards, you should do the King of Prayers. So in Bodhgaya, when you arrive, instead of looking around like tourists, immediately find a comfortable place to sit. Immediately find a comfortable place to sit outside. The weather will be very pleasant now. Sit down under the shade quietly. Think about the significance of this place. And recite the preliminary prayers in the booklet. Then recite the meditation on Shakyamuni and actually pause and do the meditation on Shakyamuni. Then afterwards, recite the King of Prayers. When you're done with that, take your bowls of offerings, of fruit and robes, go inside the main temple, make prostrations, and offer up the items to Lord Buddha. And while you're offering up, think, whatever I have recited in the King of Prayers, may it all come true. I offer all these things to you as it says in the King of Prayers. So whatever it says in the King of Prayers, I offer this up with that motivation. Because we're not able to remember everything in the King of Prayers, but if we say to Buddha, whatever is in the King of Prayers, for this reason I offer up to you, is good enough. It's more than good enough. After you make the offerings, gaze upon the Buddha, look at the beauty and the majesty of the statues over 2,600 years old, on the very spot where Lord Buddha became enlightened, and then go outside and circumambulate. When you're circumambulating, recite any mantras you know. Buddha Shakyamuni's mantra, Maitreya's mantra, Avalokiteshvara's mantra, Tara's mantra. Miksama would be excellent because Miksama has all 3 bodhisattvas in it. Manjushri's mantra, up to you. Try not to gossip and talk too much. Try to really focus on circumambulating. When you circumambulate, think carefully. There's 3 circumambulation paths. There's the inner one, the medium one, and the outer one. So the outer one, you can walk, you can circumambulate around a lot of stupas. And then you notice around you there's a lot of people doing prostrations, prayers, mandala offerings, and retreats. You should rejoice to see all that.